Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Alan. On behalf of my co-host Wistancia and the crew of the show, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. Tonight we have a really special edition tonight. We have incredible guests, we have incredible videos, we have singing, we have harping, we have celling. I mean, it's going to be quite a show. Tonight we have Kim Robertson, who's, actually I was talking to Wistancia about this earlier, and we've had a lot of people on the show who are really world-class talents, but somehow the world hasn't found out about it yet. But we have tonight, with Kim and Virginia Kron, who's also here, world-class talents who the world does know about. So if you would, stay with us, you're going to be in for a really rare night. I mean, I've been hearing them playing, and since I knew that they were coming on the show, I've been listening to their tapes, and Kim has over 20 tapes, and she's done a few with Virginia, and they're really heart-opening. They're really just angelic. They're really wonderful, beautiful, powerful messages. So please stay with us, and I think you're in for a really special evening. So as we usually do at this time, we open to put people in a certain vibration that we'd certainly like you to have tonight with a invocation from Wistancia, and then she'll lead us in a short meditation. So please stay tuned.
Thank you, Ron. And so tonight, we come as children of God, daughters and sons, and we come before Father, Mother, God and ask a blessing to be able to have an open heart this night, this day, and this year like never before. As we come into the new year, we ask that somehow we come before our growth, we come before our steps, before our transformation, before all that lies in front of us, all the gifts, all the blessings, with open hands and open hearts. We ask that our cells in our body be renewed to receive all the blessings of the higher rays, the blessings of the archangels and the ascended masters, and all the winds of change that are in our midst. We ask tonight that in this auditorium and in your homes, that each one join hands or hearts and souls with the ones around, that we come together in unity, that this year be the year of unity. And tonight we also ask for the presence in this studio, in your home, wherever you're listening, of the angels. We ask that our guardian angels come and stand before us on the right. We ask that our body elementals, blessing our beautiful bodies that are in transformation now, stand out on our left. We ask that all the angels that have been assigned to us since our birth stand in a circle around us and encircle us. We ask that the archangels send their radiation, their love down into this room, into our hearts, blessing us with God's virtues that they carry. We ask that the ascended ones, the masters who reflect mastery and the story of where we are going and where we are growing to us, the ascension. We ask that the great Elohim, the builders of form, the creators of worlds, be in our hearts, somehow swirling around us so that we can feel the excitement of these times. And tonight we also ask that the angels of music come and open us up, open up our ears, our eyes, our hearts to the sounds of the celestial winds, to the sounds, the music of the spheres, to the music that will be played tonight, that somehow at each of the strings that is played tonight, strike a chord within us and open us up to more and more love, for we are divine beings living on the earth. And the music is such a gift. We are energy, we are vibration, and that is what music is, the very essence of form in this world, the very essence of vibration and energy, the sound of God going through us. So let us now move into our silent sanctuaries within our hearts, just taking a step just by your intention and asking to please come into that receiving pose, equipoise, of receiving the gifts that are being just given to us in this year, in this incredible year. coming into silence and sending our own rays of light from our heart down into the center of the earth and above us into what is called heaven or God or whatever you call it. Perhaps you call it just your higher self, asking that the I Am Presence come in and be rooted in the heart, in the Christed heart. And together we will move into the harmony and the peace of silence. Thank you so much. And I'd like to take this time to just say Happy New Year to everybody listening. To you, Alan, Happy New Year. This year came in with quite a bang, didn't it?
In Santa Barbara, it was blowing. I mean, it blew out the old and in with the new, I'll tell you that.
Actually, I was on my way to a ceremony, a sacred ceremony, at 11 o'clock, and I got hit, my car got hit by a branch from one of the trees.
kidding.
A lot of the trees were falling, and it was like dodge. It was like one of those computer games where you have to dodge all the things. I felt like I was in a computer game.
I was coming back around 11:15 that night, and it was, you had to keep circling around, and we kept the streets that stopped. It was freaky.
And yet all of it got really still, like right before we went into meditation. Everything got really still, and everybody's just been walking around saying this is just the time of like cleansing and purification, and it's everybody's just been feeling that.
Yeah, the wind really whistled out the
it was like we just got moved to another octave or something. I don't know. It's just really exciting.
So you ready for some incredible music?
I am so ready for this.
Yeah.
I am so ready.
I hope you people are ready. So here's Kim Robertson, and she's going to sing and she's going to play, and pay real close attention and open your heart. Kim? Wow, that was really something. So we're going to have a lot more of that. We're going to have Kim playing with Virginia later on, and we're going to have Kim playing alone later on with the small harp. But right now we have an incredible video. A lot of people have seen this video, well, not this particular video, but a video by the same person, Ken Jenkins. And we got a lot of calls that they really loved it. So what we did was put the video on, but we wanted you to have a chance to have more music from Kim, so we put one of her songs behind it. Mon Ami, is that the one we put?
The French song.
So if that could be queued up and we could see that, I mean, so we're going to have a Ken Jenkins song, a Ken Jenkins video with Kim singing behind it. So here we go. Kim?
Not bad so far.
Toute ma vie, je te cherche, mon ami, et puis enfin, je t'ai trouvé. La première fois que j'ai vu tes yeux, je savais que c'était l'amour. Depuis toujours. Depuis toujours, mon ami, je suis à toi. Mon ami, je t'aime toujours. Mon ami, toute ma vie, je te cherche. Mon ami, et puis enfin, je t'ai trouvé. Maintenant, je sais que veut-il l'amitié, mais je sais que veut-il l'amour. Que veut-il l'amour? Mon ami, je suis à toi. Mon ami, je t'aime toujours.
Welcome back, and here we are, and I have over here on my left, this is Kim Robertson, and Kim, I'm so glad that you're here.
Thanks.
Really, your music is so beautiful. I've been channeling angels and working with angels for a couple of years now, and when I listen to your music, I'm right there with them. I don't know if they really play musical instruments there. My feeling is that they are music, they are light and like that, but it certainly feels like, and when I was looking at you over there when you were playing, I could just visualize wings coming out of you. I mean, I'm not saying this just to be silly, because really, there's something about the harp that's just so incredible. It just totally opens up the heart. It's amazing. I bought a harp a few years ago, and I thought, this is silly. This is really silly.
There'll probably
I thought
be
the
a
angels were
question
gonna
in here
teach me.
somewhere.
I thought
This is
that-
one of the longest monologues.
I thought that they were going to teach me how to play, and just watching you, I actually see how much goes into it. They didn't, by the way.
Well, they probably did, but now you have to practice.
You have to come in under them.
You still have to physically sit there and do it. It's
So you
just
started playing at a really young age?
not till I was 18, actually.
The harp?
Yeah.
But what about
Yeah.
music?
Yeah, I started piano when I was really young and
Yeah.
all that. So.
So did you play by ear, or did you have to by ear?
You play by Brooklyn the way I usually sound.
Yeah, but I learned music. I did the whole classical training thing too.
Yeah. And so how did you discover the harp? When did that become your baby?
There was a harp at my high school. It's really lucky. I was a piano student, and the person who played harp was graduating, so they were asking for volunteers. And it's just one of those things. I wasn't even paying attention. So anybody want to learn the harp for next year? And my hand just went up, and I went, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" And I
You
changed.
thought it was like anybody want to go to recess? Oh my God, I gotta carry this thing around.
Well, I really didn't know what I was in for,
Right,
but
okay.
I never dreamed it would change my whole life.
It really is your life. I was reading in Angel Times, and where they called you the instrument of the angels, which I thought was like an incredible.
No, they meant the harp, not me.
I thought they were saying that about you, that you were working for
you
them.
and them, you and the harp together.
oh, okay, whatever.
No,
That's the way I took it. It was that you were one of your instruments.
when you played the harp.
The one thing you've learned working with angels, the minute you start to take credit, you're in big trouble.
Right.
Isn't that
Right.
true?
Yeah.
Well, no, more like you were a vehicle for them.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
you
way
were
I
like a
read it.
vehicle. You know, that they used you to
Not
come
personally.
come
We
and
want
sing to
No, we
us.
want you to stay humble. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's just the harp has, through the centuries, it's been associated with angels, that it is the instrument of the angels. And now I think more and more people are getting attracted to the harp for healing energy and not just for...
You do workshops, healing workshops, right?
Oh, no, not really, no. I just do harp workshops.
Oh, to
Yeah.
teach people the harp?
Yeah, my whole feeling is you should choose your own mission in life. And so, the most healing thing about my workshops is try to teach people to be creative on the harp and not just I don't use music and try to teach them to improvise and to create their own style. But I don't consider myself a healer. I think the nature of the harp is healing, but...
So you started out with classical music, right? And then you just kind of started improvising and...
Yeah, I was very naughty. I'd go home to practice my piano lesson and in the middle of the piece make up a song as a relief. And in those days, it was considered bad. You were supposed to play what's on the sheet, and now it's become the new music that you
How about
don't
when you
read
compose, do you get the whole song, or do you get pieces of it, or do you sit down every day and write, or how does it come
Once
to
in
you?
a while a song will come straight through, but usually it comes in bits and pieces. And it's interesting you ask, because recently I've started what they call a 100-day discipline, where for 100 days, for an hour a day, I sit at my harp. And it sounds easy, right? You think, oh, she must practice at least an hour anyways. But the hard part is doing it every day.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And since I started doing this, it's amazing the stuff that starts to come through. It's like it's just waiting there. And that's the whole trick, isn't it? You just need to...
Yeah, I used to do a lot of writing, and that's...
You did the 100 days? Something magic about
No,
that.
I didn't. No, I can barely do 2 days in a row. But the theory, the theory was that doing it every day really does something. When I did do it for weeks at a time, it really
like
had
you
a
keep
lot
the
of power.
kept
Yeah,
the
the
pathway
momentum
open.
going.
Or the foot in the door.
Right, something. Yeah, it's very powerful. So, a lot of people who come on the show have like angelic experiences or, channel angels. Do you have an experience of like seeing them or experiencing them, or what is your...
Not really. A lot of people come to my concerts and have experiences. I'm always jealous because I don't.
Right, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm still like that on the show. Everybody's having these experiences.
Yeah.
Like,
And you're going, let's see, we got 10 seconds left.
what am I doing here?
Yeah. But if you're doing something mechanical, you can't get too cosmic. You have to stay grounded. Yeah. The only really cosmic kind of angelic experience I had was one time I got electrocuted.
Well, hopefully that won't happen tonight. We have a lot of cables around, but we're hoping that you are hooked up to a lot of juice.
It was a mild shock. I was wallpapering and the socket was exposed and my hand was wet and I touched it by accident and I was all alone too, and I woke up all the way across the room, which means I was probably thrown.
Right.
And I don't think it's one of those near-death things like you hear about. I think it's a little more mild than that. I think it's more like shock therapy.
Right.
Because when I woke up I felt so, just peaceful, and this is just putting it mildly. I felt...
You didn't have going through the tunnel? Or
Not at all.
That
No.
you recall?
And I don't even know how long I was out, but when I woke up I just felt this...
But your clothes didn't fit anymore, so it was
It was snowing outside.
I was like, oh my God, I've been here for
24/7. century.
13 years.
But in that Angel Times article that I read, didn't you say something about having heard an angel singing
that was
once
in a
or
recording
something?
session. I was
Yeah.
working with Sinkar, the
Yeah,
singer.
well, she changed her name. Because
Right, yeah.
What's her name?
Yeah, Lori Miles, I believe.
No, it was since she's changed
She changed it again? Oh
Yeah.
man, it's hard to keep up.
Right, because she's still with your old label, right?
Lorelei?
Invincible. Yeah, Lorelei.
That's what she's using?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what
Sorry.
he told me, because she might be coming through, and we talked about her coming.
Well, in the 90s, you just, people change
Change their
names,
names, I
names
know.
like hair color, you know.
Yeah.
So go back to the angel that you heard, though. What was that?
Okay, so
What
that was a
that?
recording session, and you did the harp part separate than the vocal parts, but she was in the studio with me. I was recording my harp parts, and so it was a long cycles for mantra tape, and I had to play for 15 minutes without stopping. And in the middle of it, I heard her singing, and she wasn't supposed to be singing. I'd have to do it all over. I thought she was by accident humming along. So I looked up, I was playing, I looked up, I was really annoyed. And she was looking at me, really annoyed. She thought I was humming by accident.
Oh,
And then we had
wow.
to start over. And we looked at each other, neither of us was singing. We go, because we heard this voice in headphones.
Oh, so you both heard it.
We
Was the
both heard
voice-
it.
So it
yeah.
wasn't like one of you was
It was
nuts.
a singing
right?
voice?
It was singing. It was singing along, and not the
Wow.
lyrics, just the
Right.
sound. It was like somebody humming, forgetting that they weren't supposed to be humming. And we looked at each other, and it was nice that she heard it too. So,
Right.
Yeah,
Those albums are very
confirmation.
beautiful.
so we call it our
Confirmation.
digital angel.
Right.
Yeah. Did you ever ask? I mean, did you ever ask, like, who was that? You know, were you?
Not really. I'm not really. I have my own personal inner guides and stuff like that, but I don't know. Since I'm really in a very not commercial, but a very public field, I try to just keep it pretty not mundane, but more I don't know.
Mainstream.
Mainstream. That's a kind word.
Yeah, I always try to be kind.
Alan's
At
one of
least
the
on
kindest
set.
people I know.
You don't always say that. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
So, what do you see yourself doing in the next couple of years? I mean, any new directions, any kind of like dreams or fantasies with the harp, anything like that you haven't done before? You've done so much. You do videos. You do videos, right? And
Oh, just
books,
instructional
books,
videos, yeah. Songbooks, yeah.
songbooks.
Yeah.
That's a lot for you.
Well, the
someone.
Celtic harp is kind of a new field in a way. I mean, it's an old instrument, but it's only recently that's become popular. And part of what I feel my purpose or mission in life is to create educational materials for the field of people who are learning. And they're not people who are necessarily going to be on concert stages. They're people just learning for themselves. And to me, that has so much more power than when I used to be in the classical world, and you're being trained either to play in an orchestra or be a soloist or be a teacher to teach other people to play in an orchestra or be a soloist. It's just kind of like this feedback loop. And now the music world it's just a whole new thing. People are using it for everyday life, the way it used to be, where you'd have work songs and love songs and lullabies, and people are using music.
Minstrels.
Yeah, it just in the old days, the musicians were the politicians. They were the ones who'd go around and broadcast the news, and they were the journalists, I should say. So I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about a really fringe element of the music business, but that's
Right,
where
I
I'm putting my
understand.
attention. So
Right.
I don't ever listen to commercial music. I mean, the loud stuff.
So also you're starting to sing on your albums, right?
I did on one album.
Yeah.
And Sinkar, whatever her name is now.
Lorelei.
like this.
Yeah.
Right. I love this
She has a
thing. I
beautiful
think it's
voice and
beautiful.
sang. We did 6 mantra tapes together.
Uh-huh. So would you like to do more of that?
Yeah, we might do another project someday.
No, you singing.
Yeah, I'm planning on it. It just takes
Yeah.
a long time to write lyrics and all that. But my latest thing I'm working on, the voice as an instrument, but not with words, but just as an instrument. It's
right.
Vocalese, I guess they call it.
So what about the travel? You travel all over the world.
There you go. My dad has a nice way when people say, "What does your daughter do?" He says, "She goes here and there, now and then, doing this and that."
Is he musical too?
No, not at all. He's totally tone deaf.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's it like when you go to Ireland and those places?
How do you mean? What's it like?
Well, with the harp and just you're welcome there probably a lot.
Well, I haven't been to Ireland in a long time. I've been to Scotland quite often the last few years, and harp is, the Celtic harp like I play is not an unusual instrument. They don't look twice at it. I mean, they for them it's more typical of this kind of harp than a piano in their school.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, it's very much more part of the life.
Uh-huh. So here it's like an unusual instrument, and there it's...
Exactly, yeah.
that's
And here I'm
interesting.
considered like somebody on the cutting edge, and there I'm just pretty ordinary. There's a lot of
Right.
wonderful
So
players.
it's good to go there if you want to be humble for a while.
Yeah, and also just to get some cool influences. I mean,
Right,
they're doing
because-
some great stuff. Yeah. And in different countries, there's different pockets of the harp world. Is just fascinating. Every country I've been to, of course, hasn't had harp, but quite a few of them do, and it's like this subculture. It's kind of like belonging to a church, you know. You seek out other harp players. And
If there's anybody you could play with, either a singer or a player, who would you like to play with?
Harpist?
Anybody.
anybody?
Anyway, go. You know, it's like that's the whole world.
Oh,
They'd have to probably be in a human
if you're gonna
body.
do
It'd be
the-
easier.
If you're going to do the 3 wishes question, you should have sent that early. I need to really think about that. You have to be careful what you say, you know. So maybe I'll just pass on that one, but I'll think about it.
Okay, well, you're going to come
I'll
back
send
and
you a
talk
postcard.
later.
Add it during the video.
Right. We got a video. You're going to play some more.
Yeah, but you know, I'd really love to play with Virginia Kron.
Oh, you're going to get that chance any minute.
Cellist.
Yeah, very good.
So we're going to a clip now, aren't
No,
we?
I think no. I don't think the clip comes up now. Let me see. No, you asked Kim to slip away. Kim is
Shall I
going to
walk
slip
over?
out of here now and take a drink and slip on out of here.
Hey, you need to go behind the cameras.
Okay, Tom will take you around. All right, so
It's
pretty
always-
exciting.
It's
huh?
always fun to actually meet the person
know.
behind the harp. It's actually for me inspiring. Like I want to pick up my harp, you know. She's so talented and everything. It's kind of inspiring though to see someone what they can do with it. You know, mine makes my room look really beautiful.
No, I know.
It looks like I'm really
I
talented.
got it for you as one of your, as a present.
No.
I know. She swore she would play it all the time. I'd say she did about 3 lessons, and that was it.
It is not an easy instrument. You know, it seems like, you know, when you watch somebody like Kim and she's just gliding over the, you know, like it's so graceful. But you have to know what you're doing. Take it from me. Take it from me.
So I think if
They know what they're doing. Let's turn it over to
are the
them.
girls ready? All right. Well, here we have Virginia and Kim, and please pay attention because it's beautiful. Wow, that was really
I'm
spectacular.
speechless.
That was really wonderful. Boy, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, there's going to be more music too. So,
Right.
but now we have another video by Ken Jenkins, "Comfort of Angels," and we have. Actually, this is one of my favorite songs that Kim does. She
Oh,
sings
yeah.
on this one,
Yeah.
and it's called "Angels in
Oh,
Disguise."
it's so beautiful.
So it's a video by Ken Jenkins, and we have Kim in the background singing "Angels in Disguise." So I hope you enjoy it. We ready?
Someday I hope to understand. Someday I hope to learn how to fly far away into my imagination, far away from all my limitations. What am I doing here? Seems I've done it all before. I turn around and it all begins again. It's time to open my eyes and to realize we're all angels in disguise. It's time to open my mind and to recognize that we come from somewhere else. We've only lost our way. If I were a bird, I would fly so high. And if I were an angel, I'd travel far, far away. I'd travel far Someday I hope to understand. Someday I will know how to fly. No more dragging my feet. No more mistakes to repeat. No more hesitation. Just one realization. The journey home lies deep within my heart. The journey home lies deep within my heart. It's time to open my eyes, time to realize we're all angels in disguise. It's time to open my mind, time to recognize that we come from somewhere else. We've only lost our way, and we're on our journey. Ooh.
Ask a question. Don't give us.
Welcome back. That was really, really beautiful. Kim, that is so beautiful. The way you play and the way you sing. I don't know, it's just,
Thanks.
I was just like, oh my. So tell me about angels in disguise. What does that term mean to you?
Well, it started out as a bit of a joke because as a harp player, well, all harp players get all these stupid jokes from people about angels and puns and stuff. And
I'm probably going to make one any minute, so thanks for warning me. I probably had 2 or 3 waiting, but thanks. I probably won't do it now,
and they,
but
of
you
course,
never
think
could tell.
that they're the first person who ever invented it, right? And so
Right.
all of us have to sit and listen to that. So it started
Right.
kind of as a joke. I wanted to make a piece for harpists.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started really thinking about it, and the fact is we all are all angels. We're just disguised. You just don't know it in our human shell, but if we all realize that we're angels, you don't look outside yourself for
Right.
authority. Instead, you realize that you're the source, and then you start maybe treating each other a little kinder, like maybe somebody you don't even know, you become their guardian
Right.
angel. One person really moved me. He said, just try to make it a little easier for the next person. And that's such a simple thing,
Right.
but it was something,
it's very
it was something that
beautiful.
I could do. It
Right.
wasn't like, go save the world and bring world
Right.
peace. It's like, just make it a little easier for the next person. Person's
Right.
coming after you.
Right, at each breath, just make whoever you come in contact with.
Mhm,
Yeah, if we all
exactly.
did that, it'd be a lot nicer.
And music does that. Music makes it easier for us here, because sometimes it is difficult here in the earth.
Oh, yeah.
But and then people go to their radio or go to their, turn on their CD player or something, and it's not just because, it's not a commercial thing. Music really, whatever it is, kind of music people like, it really does kind of soothe the heart.
It's very powerful.
open
It also
yeah.
has the power to be very unhealthy, too. So it's important to
Right.
be coming from the right place.
Yeah. But the harp music always is a heart opener, it seems like.
Yeah.
Just
It
One of
has
my-
a lot of potential
One
to
of
do
my favorite stories, I think it was somebody in Santa Barbara. They're sitting in a park and they had taken off their hat and they were playing their brand new little harp and they were just practicing it for the first time. And somebody walked by and said, "Oh, it sounds great." And they threw a $5 bill in the hat. It's the first
great.
time he'd ever played it.
Right.
It just shows you.
And then he moved to center of State Street. He got a bigger, he put it.
Did you used to live here? Did you
Yes,
live in
I
Santa
did.
Barbara?
I did.
Because I know when I
Yeah.
stopped by the harp store, Folk Nook Music,
Mhm.
they said they used to teach there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I want to share a story with you about.
Yeah.
You're talking about asking the angels to teach you the harp. I heard a story from another harp teacher. He said he met this woman who just started the harp, and then he didn't see her for several years. She lived in the East Coast, and he heard her play then after 2 years, and he said, "Gosh, you really sound good, and your playing sounds familiar. Who are you studying with?" She goes, "You don't realize?" And he said, "What?" She said, "Well, I've been studying with you in my dreams for 2 years."
No
Isn't
kidding.
that great?
I thought you were going
Wow.
to say something like Raphael.
Yeah, Archangel Michael
Michael
or
or
something. Right.
So in
Yeah.
a way, you can set up your own mentor system and imagine the person you're asking for guidance, and then it doesn't have to be an angel. I mean, it could be somebody on Earth,
Right.
or it can be Einstein, or whatever your
Could
personal
be an
thing
angel in
is.
disguise.
Exactly. Yeah, my cat was a good teacher. Every place you look, you can get guidance. So I thought that was a neat story.
You're a cat person?
You shouldn't give up on your harp yet.
No,
Okay.
I won't. No, it's one of my favorite things, even though I really, so when I walk down the stairs, I always just sort of go run my hand over it. I mean, it's, even when you're not playing, it sounds okay.
And it
You know
hasn't
what I
been
mean?
tuned in 13
Cat?
years.
13
But it
years.
still sounds beautiful. That's
I
the
have time
beauty.
to stop by my house. Before we play, before you play,
Oh, is that your chance? Your debut.
maybe
I
next,
sang last season. That was plenty.
maybe next year.
You almost lost your contract.
Yeah, and I lost the contract. All the mics broke out. It was
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
Before we forget, I want you to mention the concert tomorrow
Oh, right.
night, just because I have a feel, we always get going and then we're out of time. So
Do you want to say it because you have the poster there?
it's at the Sanctuary.
Yeah, it's at
On
1525
Santa
Santa
Barbara?
Barbara Street, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Now, the show is on a lot of different times, but if you're watching it on Friday night, this is Saturday night, the 6th, the 6th of January 1996, year of the, no.
It's
So,
full moon.
yeah,
Year
it's,
of the Angels in Disguise.
it's on January 6th.
Night of the
at
full moon.
Night of the full moon
Right.
at the sanctuary at 1525.
And it's a candlelight ceremony.
Isn't
So
that
they're
nice?
so it
asking.
should
It's
be-
not a ceremony, it's just
Well,
candlelight.
okay, it's a
Yeah.
candlelight night, and
And-
they're asking
right.
people to bring little votive candles, and
And
Very
Virginia's playing with Kim, so it should be a fantastic evening.
oh, that's
Yeah, it
good.
should be
I
great.
didn't know that.
And also, before we forget, this show, if you missed parts of it or you want to see it again, is on tomorrow night at 6, so you can watch that and then run to the concert. And it's also on Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so you can see it you could see Kim for the next 2 days, plenty of her, and not be sick of her by Tuesday. But so yeah, that'll be tomorrow and Monday. You could see the show again. So
Good.
maybe Kim will play the small harp.
But Ellen, I think you should come and MC for the concert. And before each song, you should now pay attention to this.
Yeah. Now watch, you're gonna love this, and you're gonna love it now.
You better.
I never had anybody say, pay attention before I play. It's great.
Okay, now pay attention. Here she comes. Students, here we go. And she's got a little. She's gonna explain it.
Yeah, it's a little, it's a Irish lap harp, and I have a piece of paper here for the special sound effect. It makes a little buzz, and it's inspired by the African kalimbas and limburas, the thumb pianos. It's a little
Reminds
piece.
me of the thing I used to put in my bike to make this sound.
Yeah, very similar.
Right.
It's called Small Journeys.
So sweet.
Why don't you play another short one? Can you do that? Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Here's one to help you go to sleep.
Oh, we have to tear down the set. We can't go to sleep yet.
Well,
It's like sleepy time tea or
Well, I just
something.
flew in from Minnesota yesterday. It's definitely bedtime in Minnesota right
Yeah,
now.
right. It's definitely bedtime in Minnesota.
That's so sweet. It's so beautiful. The way you can just pick it up, you know. See, that's like a laptop computer. You can just take that on the airplane with
I like to play it in bed, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put yourself to sleep. And do your animals like that? You have cats?
Yeah.
I bet they just climb right up there and nestle in.
Actually, one of my cats she sleeps behind me in my chair when I practice. She
Yeah.
sits right there. She doesn't
Oh,
like the fast
wonderful.
tunes because I bounce around.
So, I mean, did you like spend like hundreds of hours playing that? I
How many
mean-
hours did I log?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, it looks natural now, but
Yeah.
it just took
I
incredible
spent
amount.
even more time learning piano, and the harp was a little more natural to me. But even so, it does. I don't want to discourage beginners. It does take a lot of time, but it's an easy instrument to learn right away. You can sound pretty good right away.
Right, because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it
to
takes,
begin
like
with.
anything, it takes a long time to master. No matter what
Right.
it is you do, it takes time to master. And that's the whole point, is that you can,
Right.
the thing with music, you're never done. You can always
Right,
take
to
another step.
Further up and further.
Yeah,
Understand.
and some of the greatest musicians I know are usually the most humble. They realize this, that
Right.
it's only, I feel, for me, I feel it's just the beginning of my
Right.
career right now. Them just finally getting into some new frontier.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I guess
Do you
life
have
is
any-
like that.
Yeah, it is.
I read somewhere that a month right now is like 3 years, 10 years ago, that we're so accelerated that a month is like 3
Yeah,
years.
a lot of people on the
Yeah.
show
Certainly
talk
feels
about
It feels
that.
like it,
Yeah,
yeah.
Feel
really.
that way. And
Yeah.
actually, someone said that it was because the Greg Braden actually was talking, and he said it was because the Earth's frequency has shifted and raised, so it was gone from 7.83 to 8.6, and so our bodies are actually trying to come into tune with the Earth, and so we're actually trying to catch up, and everything is moving really fast. It certainly feels like every day is longer than one day.
It does.
Absolutely. Do you have any just information for new musicians or harpists out there? Just some kind of like note of encouragement?
There's already enough professional harpists in the world. Don't even try. I'm kidding. No, I guess the thing is, I think it's one of the most forgiving instruments there is. The harp, it will forgive you no matter what you do. And I think a lot of people have always dreamed of playing the harp. And if you're one of those people, go for it. Just try it. Doesn't
Well,
hurt to try.
I'd like to really thank you for coming. I'd like to thank Virginia, who's obviously not on the set, but she is there, and we could see her, and we'd like to thank her. And it was a really special evening for us, I'm sure, and I'm sure for everybody out there. So, you
Have a
know,
wonderful, wonderful beginning of this year. And really get ready for great
there's a lot of things going on. So God bless you, and please.
Be well and continue to bridge heaven and earth within you.
There's a lot of powerful things happening. God bless you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Kim.